So on Wednesday kuna vile Paul Wakimani, Paul Ogutu alibaki ametokea akapatia na interview fulani kwa one of these online media stations alafu one of the things alisema ni like back in the days wakiwa on Churchill live kuna siku Churchill aliwaita akabaki amewapatia ilikuwa either 300,000 shillings each or a car. And I remember when he said this, I was there wondering like how could such a thing have been kept such a secret for long? Because like a lot of comedians have been in front of a camera, comedians that worked on Churchill live. So you have waseka kina Butita wamekuwa mbele ya kamera, wamekuwa na YY wamekuwa mbele ya kamera. Like they've been a lot of hata Professor Hamo ani wase unajua who like cut their teeth hapo. Like that's where they earned their skills and grew their skills on Churchill live. Why hasn't anyone ever told this story? Because kitu moja nimekam kurespect ya Churchill live ni they always tell you their history, even history of things you don't know. Kama wewe sijui ile siku chipukizi Ayeya na Paul Wakimani mwenyewe alikujaga kwangu.
Yeah,
were you there? You're there?
Yeah, I was the one who was making tea.
Yeah, okay, because I don't remember these things. So these dudes are there like we sat down, we watched stand
even
up.
The late, sindio?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah. Because nakumbuka it was a room full of young talent.
Yeah.
Was it 2011?
Ilikuwa kitambo. Maybe 2010,
2011.
Yeah. So it's so nachiki like these comedians they are the ones who let me remember that. Like bila chipukizi kuniambia hivyo mi singekumbuka. So the way I forget ish. Bila hata nani Paul Wakimani mwenyewe kuniambia hivyo like unajua nishai kutega kwako hiyo time ukatuchezea ma stand up singekumbuka. So the fact that these people told me something I couldn't remember, why hasn't anyone else ever mentioned history ya Churchill? And because Churchill ikikam to Kenyan comedy anakuwaga very divisive figures ndio. Kuna watu wanasemaga he's done enough for comedy, kuna watu wanasemaga but mi ukiniuliza nitasema he's done his part. And the reason why musemaga he's done his part is there are comedians who are what they are because of Churchill live. Eric Omondi sindio? Eric Omondi is what he is because of Churchill, and through that Eric Omondi has saved how many lives? Najua amesave maisha mob.
Yeah.
Apart from save lives ametoa watu wangapi kwa hosi?
Kibao.
Kuna hata raya fulani ilitolewa hosi majuzi ulicheki ilikuwa inasema sijui kuna pigananga na wife iliwa sijui wife akiwa na watoi 5. Ukiwa wife wako akiwa na watoi 5 umemuoa kweli ama umeadopt watoto?
Umeadopt. Actually umemsaidia. Ni companionship.
Yeah. So kulikuwa na hiyo vile so okay, so now back to Churchill. So kuna this very big comedians, of course the number one tutafikiria ni Eric Omondi, alafu lazima tukam tufikirie juu watu wengine, tutafikiria mpaka hata juu ya Butita si ndio? Tufikirie juu ya YY mwenyewe because YY cut his teeth there, yani hiyo ndio place tulifanya tuliend up tukimjua kabisa anani tena hapo Mamito like one of the greatest stand-up comedians hapa Kenya came from that school si ndio? So if you look at all this then we come msika chipukizi. Yes.
Or Hamo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chipu has a whole other show. Dr. Ofweneke has a whole other show. So this dude, one thing that he did is he opened doors. Did he maybe remunerate comedians as he opened the doors for you? Not as much. But those days, I think the difference was you needed that spotlight to be on you. Because squeezy, it's hard for mse kukuambia hivyo because there's internet. Hata bila wewe kunifungulia mlango kuta people can still discover me in other ways. So he did his part ikikam to you. Alisaidia wase. Was he the guy who used to pay people the most? No, he was not. Sindio? Personally I worked for him. Did he pay me? Yes, he used to pay me and I have no complaints about that. Around the same time alikuwa nasikiza na Rapcha but that's different. Unachiki ile muaga tunaweza kwa mabeste na mtu and you're allowed to have a different opinion about them. So just because Rapcha hakuwa nasikiza na yeye imanishi, but did it somehow affect our relationship?
The same time na Rapcha?
Rapcha aliacha kumchachishia after nishatoka I think I'll always respect Rapcha for that. But did that affect our relationship me mwenye na Churchill? I think to some degree, because everyone knows me, akiniona mwana Rapcha, akiona Rapcha. So kila mtu atafikiria hizi thoughts za Rapcha mimi nilikuwa najua. I never knew them. Me just used to see this dude online akizusha, kichachisha. Nashindwa kunaendaje. But now back to Wakimani. So now Wakimani comes out and says that he was given 300,000 shillings. Ama a car, and it was a bunch of comedians. So the way he painted that picture, it was like Churchill alikuwa ameenda kwa bank aka withdraw at least on the lower side 3 million. Because I'm figuring this is at least 10 comedians. And nikashindwa hii story, why I have never heard it from even other comedians, people who became
the receiving end,
who became very super close to Churchill, even nani umsanaitwa nani MC Jesse. Never had anyone.
Pia hata hiyo raya. Unless mnaweza sema maybe one way there are people who are never to know. That's one way.
But can you keep such a secret? Is such a secret keepable? A secret of umepatia watu 10 something worth 300 G's.
Because of course parking lot itaanza kujaa. Because wezi kuwa na ndae ama you can't even have, you know, sayata ukinipatia 300,000 you'll notice. There are some few things nitakwambia nimefanya hivi na hivi, hata ka clothing utaona vile sometimes nimechange headphones zangu.
So
even such a change of that magnitude kwa, you know, like 10 people who are influential. Na najua pia they were on the spotlight. So walikuwa na pia the showbiz part of it. Hata kwenye bado saa hiyo wanakuanga, they still thrive on a bit of showbiz ndio kuweza kupush content yao. So naweza side nawe niseme like that was a huge impact on them. Na it was yani as in your paycheck ingekuwa tu ni kitu yani iko significant kwa even behind the scenes.
Alafu mimi nikafikiria juu yake. I think vile umebonga hivyo nimeanza kufikira out maybe one of the reasons why Rapcha was mad at Churchill. I've never asked him because it's always that one of those things of tukifanya weekend update we're trying to laugh. I don't want to put him in a mood of whatever. Maybe this is something I need to ask him off script. But as much as I never remember things, one of the things I can't remember super clearly is when we did Rowan and Cut 2. Sindio? Tulifanyaga na Churchill. This thing was done at Kani. Sindio?
Yeah.
And tulifanyaga ni sisi, Churchill na Protel. People, this thing was advertised both by Ghetto Radio and Classic. But it's Classic FM that made it ijai. Sindio? I think, I don't know how much that auditorium wagaina inachukua watu wangapi, but I remember it was full enough. Sindio? So I'm sure kwa gate the collections were at least 1 million shillings. Yes? This is over 14 years ago. 1 million shillings is a lot of money. So the question would be, how much did Rapcha make from that gate?
Actually never thought of it.
0 shillings.
0?
Yes, because we were told that the money was being used for production. Sindio? So you start thinking about it years later and you're like, which production is this? Like which, because cameras goes on talk Protel. So Protel owned the Nini. For them to come there, it was a privilege even for them. 10 years ago, let's say you paid them 500,000 shillings to do that. Sindio? Churchill amue, unajua what normally happens is in such an event anafaa kuamua sawa, since mimi ndo nimeleta watu wengine, wacha basi nichukue 50%. Let's say 75% is used kwa, there should have been something that came. Macheki.
It is 0. He worked with nothing.
Yes. We don't even know how much money was made from that event. And I think these are the things zile baadaye mtu anafikiria yes, Churchill used to, he did invest this in you and what, but he was also such a cold-hearted businessman, and I feel like for some time it reached a level where he became more of a businessman than a comedian. Nacheki kuna ile time now, if you are a student of the art of stand-up comedy, ukienda umsikize kuna time kwa shindo like where's the joke, nacheki because the money was too much. Because don't forget, we are talking 14 years ago. We are talking of this guy making 1 million shillings, and it reached ile time alikuwa NTV, he was untouchable. So let's say hizo time maybe he used to make
So
maybe
even-
like at least half an M every week from NTV. Usisahau, that's at least 4 shows, sindio?
Yeah.
He was
Then
doing
he
this
had
thing that
classic gig.
classic iko.
Mm.
He was the main ambassador, I think, was Safaricom. He was the main MC at events. He was the but if you're making that sort of money, haufai kuorganize event na watu na huyo comedian asiwaipata anything. So I think hiyo time wasatasema kwa nini mlikubali. It's because you are somehow young and naive and yeah.
And promo ili run for how long? Classic maybe inaweza kuwa presenter mention ama zilikuwa ni promo si presenter mention.
Those people used to support him. That's one thing that I respect Radio Africa for. If you're one of them, they'll give you free advertisement, free word. He's even the one alituambia ataenda hapo apate free advertisement and free whatever. So yeah, they used to support him. Lakini hata pia sisi Ghetto Radio.
Because what happened after Nini? After your show, tulikuwa tunaenda River Road, place ya kudub. Mi na chief.
Yeah.
Alafu tuna stamp hizo VCD. Ama was it DVDs?
Yeah.
Kwa DVDs because on stamp ni ya Ghetto Radio. Ndio tuweze kuuza. And I don't think they went as much.
Yeah.
So nakuniambia that's what he had relied on.
Yeah, hakuna doyote tulimake from your kitu. So that's why now if you go back to Churchill, now of course this story comes out and the story is he was paying people 300 Gs and someone like who he actually really helped say kama YY was like no, this is not true. And people will be like kuna watu watachukua like why is YY doing this, does he have any beef with Churchill? No, hana any beef with Churchill, but if we are to be honest, yes, Churchill did a lot. But pia he also played a role in kufanya usanii kaini kama usanii ilipi because he was the only person analipwa. And that's what end up being called a gatekeeper nacheki because to some degree he was a gatekeeper because ukitry to imagine sisi we do this stand up in 2009, he approaches us, we do another with him in 2009 and afterwards tukatupoteza rada, we came to do another one in 2023, 14 years in between. So inamaanisha if he was never involved kwa hii apili we'd have done every year.
We could have moved on. Because I remember the first one hiyo ndio ile time nani Eric Omondi alikuwa ametry kudu his own version of comedy kwa KTN and then it flopped.
Yeah.
And then he took him back. By the hapo naweza pay respect kwake because if you kama uko na msee alafu akutoke alafu he could have said ama angeact jealous ama you know akwe to that vile unasema gatekeeper na so that's the first time niliona Eric Omondi wameshikana yeye because there were a lot of rumors like is Eric ever going to redeem himself.
Yeah.
So akumbuka nilikuwa kwa gate nikaona haya hizi raya mbili pamoja. So nile akasema nakumbuka akisema tuingie tuone real comedy sasa.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I haven't even tuambia tukiwa hapo. It's time to go watch real comedy.
Nani alisema hivyo?
Churchill.
Yeah,
alituambia tukiwa hapo because sisi ndio tulikuwa na stamp ose.
Okay.
Check hizo nini. Yeah. I was like okay.
Yeah, so
so if you didn't receive, you didn't receive. Yeah.
And the truth ile tu design imekuwa ni the week of the truth. Nachikira ya moja naitwa Cat Williams alikuwa na trend because alikuwa na bonga juu the truth inakuwa important. Yes, it's good for us to revere someone, si ndio? And it's good for us to kusifu mtu for things that they did, but I always say historically it's also good for people to paint you in your truest picture possible. And in the truest picture possible is that he was a very cold-hearted businessman. To me, I'd be surprised if Churchill is not $1 millionaire. I'd be surprised because he has to be $1 millionaire. Because another thing about it is
laugh industry.
Yeah, alikuwa na laugh industry. So alafu ye NTV alikuwa namchotea because usisahau alikuwa na hiyo Churchill live ikabreak you down kukakuwa na Churchill raw pia, si ndio? Hiyo Churchill show. So Churchill live was the original, si ndio? So Churchill live wakakosana na wale wasengine walikuwa kina Nyanja
cinematics.
Yes, cinematics. Alafu akaanzisha Churchill
kina J Blessing.
Yakaanza Churchill show na J Blessing, si ndio?
Yeah.
Alafu Churchill show ikazaa Churchill Raw. So hizi kitu I think na underestimate me. I think this guy used to make like $1 million every month. Akishalipa kila mtu
hata prestige
every week, that is.
Yeah. Even after some months alikuwa na nini, alikuwa na hold fund day watoi.
Yeah, na ziko na sell out. They used to sell out
prestige wako na watu whatever.
Yeah. So alafu I remember around the same time hata nini like kuna time na nikimwonaga na ile nini yake, he's one of the guys wale niko naona like they live simple in quotes compared to their income, because he used to have this old Benz of him for a very long time before end up amechukua unajua like he could afford easy gari expensive during hizo time za kitambo hivyo.
Yeah.
But still unajua hizi vitu hawezi jua pia yeye mwenyewe alikuwa anajuaga everything comes to an end. Yes. Na hii yake as much as it's come to an end, it's still not come to an end. People still go to his shows. Like even today angekuja hapa asema ati Churchill presents IKONINI itaja. The only difference itakuwa like good hakuna akautuambii how much has come in. We're not having this conversation. Acheki. But bado
yone New Year's alijaza
na Christina Shusho.
Yeah.
Of course Shusho lazima alishushwa kwa stage akiwa na kitu kwa mfuko.
Yeah.
Si tulishushwa tu hivyo tukaambua tukaambua
it's been real. Even after the show did you talk
about the money? No. And you see that's how you end up now making enemies, because I always think about it and I'm like, why would Nani take it that personal? I think you have to pay the talent, because without the talent there is no show. Yes.
Yeah. So
the talent has to be paid, and the fact that hakuna nini, because I was even having this conversation with one of what were stand-up collective, and we were talking about how I'd want IKONINI to start presenting other comedians, and then Rapcha hosts the show. So Rapcha is Nini na India na introduce watu in between. See like the same thing nani alitufanyia naitwa Doug. And I remember nikimwambia like the only reason why that can't happen right now is everything that we do as IKONINI is IKONINI sponsored. We'd need corporates to step in for this some sort of sponsor to help us in this journey. And the reason ikikuwa ni the talent has to get paid. So I try to imagine when we come back and we think about it, Unkut 2, we don't know how much money was made at the gate. Acheki. And that time I think hiyo kulipa watu na exposure, it was such a common thing that we never thought about it, because here is where I think Churchill alitupata ni hivi. Churchill Unkut 1 tulifanyia hapi Alliance. What was the entrance fee Alliance? Do you know?
Can't remember. Was it 500?
It was free.
What?
We were doing stand-up comedy for the first time, 1 hour special, the first 1 hour special in Kenya.
And who paid for the auditorium?
Sisi as now Ghetto convinced Ghetto Radio to do that. So it was a Ghetto Radio presents, the same way Ghetto Radio presents Ghetto Stories. Sindio?
Yeah, of course. You're trying to get
market
new
the
audience.
Station pia. Yes. So with that in mind, if we didn't, you see now yeye mwenyewe vile alikuja akaingia, because I remember akikuja kwa hiyo show na kunga akiingia, si ndio? Because mimi nilikuwa nimekaa huko nyuma naangalia wase, so kuna things that stand out, because I was like damn, this guy has shown up for this. Afu akiingia tu anaona wase wamecheka, and then Rapcha akamaliza and got a standing ovation, and that's how he ended up approaching us like, you know what, we need to do this. But now if you've approached us after we've just done a free show, sisi in our minds will be like, yes, Kenya, this thing is still, people are not ready to pay for it, sindio?
Yeah.
So we end up not charging. But yeah, so why was like
And the
hakuna
carnival
chochote.
one, how much was the entrance?
I don't know.
Unkut 2?
I think it was 1,000 shillings. Kasi hivo maybe it was kasi hivo ilikuwa 500, but at least 2,000 people showed up, because I remember that place was packed. That place was packed, Buddha. I remember your siku. And the fact sisi we didn't know, ukiniuliza how many people showed up to that event, I don't know. And it's me. Kami sijui because remember Rapcha was going on stage, so Rapcha should not have known. I should have known that. So that's why now, later I'm like, but now did he help careers? Yes, he helped careers. Did he help stand-up comedy? No. Did he help the comedy industry? Yes. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, yes. I think he helped careers and also helped himself.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong. Just don't take the whole pie. I think that was the whole thing. Alafu, now back to Paul Wakimani. Why do you think Paul Wakimani came up with this bullshit story?
If it's a line on Nani kama he was just trying to get into his good books, because maybe like the way unaonanga kuna mse ako na his favorite kids, and maybe aliona like he's falling out of favor. So maybe sometimes you just need something to ride on. Kumpampa. He was trying showbiz. I think it's just pure showbiz. Wanna like, okay, you know what I did? Because I think at that point Churchill was so big, ndio alikuwa na determine who gets the prime time. And I think pia there was that euphoria, like if you come after this artist, unaenda uki climb up the ladder.
Yes.
So maybe he felt like kama, cause we did some skit na Paul. Sindio pale kwa we were doing that kamistari thing. Na alikuwa na toi accent ya nini ya Jamaica.
Nakumbukaga. Ilikuwa kali sana.
Zion is for it was skit kali sana.
Mimi nilituagambao like sikuwa najua content is king, man. Bila wewe kunikumbusha usingekumbuka.
Okay. We spent a whole afternoon pale nini Aga Khan Walk shooting that, and he's such a talented. He was such a talented young man. Of course I don't know, sijaona any content yake. So I would feel the stage was so competitive. The fact that the stage was one, kukuwa na any platform ilikuwa inapatia wasanii comedians exposure. Other than nini Churchill live Churchill show. So maybe unaweza jipata ukisema some things za kubamba mse. I think he was just trying to make a name.
Because that's what I was debating, because I was wondering why would someone tell such a lie? Because another story would be maybe he wants a financial favor from Churchill, so this is to put him on the spot, like, you know what, your image out here is haulipagi wasanii, but wacha maybe niseme ulipa wasanii na vile umetoka kuingiza kakitu na shusho unza nishusha kutoka kwa ngazi ya umaskini. Nacheki
amshushia nyavu pia.
But sasa akukwenda hivyo, because now when other comedians come in, because I remember Nani commented, anaitwa, these are people who respect Churchill 100%. Why comment, if I'm not wrong, Butita also commented on that. They were like, alafu swali ilikuwa why lie? Because hii pia ndio inakuaga ile nini, like one of the funniest skits, and this is also someone who got to where he is because of Churchill alimpatia hiyo exposure. But one of the funniest jokes nishaiona from Shiti. Kwa time Shiti amedu hii joke ya where he's on a construction site and he just kisses the ass ya boss kabisa. So ilifika level mpaka kiss rasa mpaka si lazima hata utulipe. I found that to be so funny.
I think this is the same.
And your level like una kiss rasa ya msee mpaka inakaa inakuwa a certain level ya nini. Because I think tunafaa celebrate Churchill. He's the one who used to love the word celebrate. We have to celebrate what he did for the industry.
Of course.
All the people he brought into the industry. He created so many careers. I don't think kungekuwa na the Chipukizi show, akungekuwa na the Ofueneke show, unacheki.
Eric wouldn't have been where he is.
Yes, Eric Omondi angekuwa ile level yuko. So you have all these people that he created. Kuna watu walipatia nudge kidogo. I wouldn't say he created them. Ka you are Butita, I'd say he gave him a small nudge kufanya julikane na 1, 2, 3 people. The same alipatia a small nudge to Mamito. Kusani watu walikaa wakaji-establish.
So Churchill is the DJ Pinyo of comedy.
yes, he was a gatekeeper. He was a true gatekeeper. Like, damn, you
Yeah.
needed him. And apart from needing him, the fact that Kenyan, what are they called? Kenyan TV executives had a stick up their ass. They only thought there was space for one. You see, the internet imekamika kuonyesha many comedians can coexist at the same time. Sindio?
Yeah.
Right now, if you look at the internet space, you have Crazy Kena. Sindio? Huge comedian. You have YY, huge comedian. You have Terence, huge comedian. You have Butita, huge. Unacheki like Mamito, all these are huge comedians, all coexisting at the same time. Njugush, coexisting. So there's space for more than one. But mainstream media kumetuambiaga there can only be one
at a time.
Yes, and that's where shida ilikuwa, because now without Churchill live you are, I love the corporate world pia vile nasemaga, like corporate world ya Kenya, you have people who are not even fans of anything. They just think in money terms.
They're just fans of numbers.
Yes. And sometimes you are supposed to be able to see where something is going. Kasi juu umewachi movie inaitwa Gran Turismo?
Bado.
Yeah, so Gran Turismo ni juu ya like a marketing, one of the marketing executives on Nissan who saw an opportunity. They were like,
you told me about the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this game, we can get players or a game and put them on a real racing track. You have to be able to think outside the box. Sindio? And this guy ended up competing. Na asha end up mpaka kwa podium. From the playing mbele game to being on the podium, being top 3, it's very hard.
It's very hard.
So you have to have such people. But now you had Kenyan corporates where like no one was ready to think outside the box. Even right now, no one is ready to think outside the box. When mara ngapi nakwambia, I tried to pitch to someone who sells couches. Like literally watu niambiaga, when am I coming on the couch? Sikuwa nataka hata free couch. I was like, for this, give me a discount. Just a small discount and I'll mention hii nimetoka wapi. Think hata call ilichukuliwa. No one was interested. For a very long time. Ona hizi vitu mbili.
Hata nakumbuka Lambistic.
Yeah.
Hata ile time mlikuwa mnachapana akisema, okay, first of all, hata nakumbuka kifreeze screen. Akisema, advertisers wamelala.
Yes. There's this where
there's this thing.
You can just have but you see, this is what we're dealing with. So you have to understand you're dealing in such an environment where even the people who work in these corporates and these advertising agencies, they don't love their job. They just do it because it's a job. So they wake up every morning.
They're not visionary.
Yes. They'll never think outside the box. They'll always just have a stick up their ass. And that's what's going to happen.
So kama ukicheki hata Michael Jordan. How Nike was hata iko inataka ilikuwa nini for the future. Na walikuwa naona like this guy has the potential.
Yeah.
Because a real marketer anaangalianga potential.
Yeah, anaona hapa.
Si brand yenye itampatia after 5 months aanze kutafuta nini nyingine.
Another.
Nike was trying to grow with an athlete. So I would say like wamelalisha sana because hata ukipata these sponsorships zenye zinakam these sides kwa wale wase wengi wenye tume interview unasema ati wakienda advertise shamba wanapata even the clip is being overused more than the agreed time unapata hata msanii the fact that ako independent unapata billboard yake inakaa 5 more months
ikiwa pale kabla ipuliwe down.
Yes. So they don't think that these are the people kwa e-space ya internet wanaweza grow now over a long period of time. You know, so I want to enjoy the money. The gatekeepers, the mainstream media. Because if umeonekana, if you're a marketer in advertising a big brand, ushaanza kudeviate. Sa brand yako inaonekana kwa IKONINI ama inafanya nini. Phone calls zako zitaja kuchukuliwa.
But it's good that we live in a time where the internet is getting rid of the so-called
we told you so.
Gatekeepers. Like you can still be a gatekeeper. You know, you can still because the corporates, they still play a role. They can still help you take something to the next level, but they are not needed. Right now they are wanted. It's a want. Like IKONINI wants sponsors. We don't need sponsors, because the minute you need is the minute you have to change everything you're talking about. Don't be controversial, don't be and vile tu niko nasema ni story na Cat Williams ile, you have to be on the side of the truth, and then lazima pia ukamu realize the same thing Cat Williams alikuwa anasema that in the US kuna kuga there is a space for one, and this is the one person we are all going to focus our energy on. I think even Kenya is the same. Acheki. So at some point the space for one was just Churchill. So ilikuwa anything comic ama comedic that is happening, Churchill had to be involved, sindio?
Yeah.
And as we said, he did a great job, because yes, tu wakupataga nini, but walipata fan base ingine, and they were able to, now vile internet ilikuja, to monetize that fan base and turn that fan base into something. Because I don't think there's someone who is not a villain in someone's story. There's always a villain, sindio?
Yeah.
So kuna watu wale like Churchill is a villain in their story, sindio? There's other people who Churchill is a hero because he changed their lives kabisa, sindio? The same way me mwenyewe mu joke, I always joke that I'm a villain in Mbusi's story.
Yeah.
Yes. To me, I thought I was helping this dude. He was being sprayed na invisible doom. So you can never be a hero in everyone's story. So that's what I'm saying. Like if someone was to ever do a story about Churchill, a movie, one thing they have to give him credit for is this guy who basically, I'd say, even built the comedy industry, because this dude became bigger than comedy.
Yeah.
That he was everywhere. Akina Bob Collymore wakimuita, walikuwa namuita na heshima, walikuwa unacheki. Like so ilifikaga hiyo level ya he was so big. Did he secure his own financial future before everyone else? Yes, he did. But don't forget, maybe he was also living na ile notion ya, what if one day I don't have this power? Because yes, his power has reduced, but he's not reduced to the level of where you can say he has zero power. Because kuna wasako na zero power who are very huge at some point. Right now, if KJ called a comedy show, how many people are showing up? If Tony Njuguna called a comedy show, if Nyambane called, you see, they don't have the same oomph walikuwa nayo your time.
And I would say, like, those are the guys who made Churchill.
Yeah.
Sindio?
And he ended up
their
being,
platform.
yeah, he ended up being bigger than them. So it's supposed to be that way. So I think with all this historiote, I think the person who people should ask, like, why the fuck did we even start this conversation?
It was
Paul Ogutu.
Yeah.
It was an unnecessary conversation. But still maybe ndio imefika time ya kupatia Churchill both his flowers and also to show him his flaws so that he knows both. Yes, flowers ni ulisaidiaga watu, but the other side ni if you come to finances you are very dark. Like right now ukiniuliza Rowan and Cash 2 mliuza tikiti ngapi? Sijui.
Damn.